First of all, Bonnie, congratulations on your performance on this. It's so nice to see you all grown up and lovely in this film. It must be like a giant family reunion when you get back on the sets.
Yeah, it is. I think it's that feeling when, you know, you spend the summer away from your school friends and you come back and it's sort of catching up and sort of all the relationships and sort of energy that's on set sort of just happens again. And it's, you know, each film has new cast members on each one. So it's always exciting to meet them.
Yeah, I'm sure. Great new cast members, I would think. Like over the years, I'm wondering, you know, when you look at all, especially the veteran actors that you've had a chance to work with, has there been anybody specifically for you that's either mentored you or that's been kind of guided you through this?
Yeah, I think there's so many amazing sort of, you know, already outstanding British actors who've worked. I mean, almost nearly every British actor seems to be somewhere in the Harry Potter series. So I think just watching them, I think, you know, people like Alan Rickman and Michael Gambon and Maggie Smith and Julie Walters. There's so many people you can just kind of observe, and they're sort of real professional sort of. I know the way they go about things is very sort of focused. They're always, you know, the minute they step on set, they're very much their character, and they seem to sort of really inhabit everything. So it's just been, I don't know, it's just been a kind of very unique experience. I think no one really works with that many talented people in one movie.
Well, especially when you were cast. I mean, can you believe it? I mean, you're 18 now. You were 9 years old when you started this experience. No real acting experience. No. Your brother basically said, go try out for the role, and you did. So you have your brother to thank.
Yeah, I know. I should get a bunch of flowers or something.
Yeah, that would be nice. Maybe some chocolates, maybe.
Yeah,
you know. But seriously, like, you know, here you are, this young girl, and it must have been mind-boggling to get this, you know, this education on set, I would think.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's been, I think from starting these films, all of us, like you say, a lot of us hadn't had any experience. So starting for the, you know, a blockbuster, I mean, I know it wasn't, we didn't know how successful it would be at the beginning, but it was, you know, a Warner Brothers film, the budget that was behind it was a big blockbuster film. So it's been definitely jumping in at the deep end. So it's been a quick learning process. But I think everyone who works on these films is so passionate towards everything they do, and their work ethic is kind of very, you know, very hardworking but very enjoyable to work with. So it's definitely probably made us quite, I know it's matured us all quite quickly and sort of made us understand what makes everyone want to be involved in film.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about Ginny Weasley. She's grown up. She's you know, she's got some feelings for Harry. Well, she's always had feelings for Harry, but in this one we really get to see, you know, her blossom. And tell me about, you know, taking on the character in that direction.
Yeah, I think it's been really exciting for me, obviously, sort of, as an actress, it's made me sort of really challenge myself and sort of find new emotions for her to sort of explore. And I think a lot of the time, you know, the audience didn't really ever get to see much of Ginny, and I think sort of hearing from what people have said, they've always wanted a bit more of her. So I think I was really excited by that sort of challenge in this film to show her. And she's become, you know, a very confident sort of young woman, really. She's kind of quite clever and fearless about kind of what other people think. She's very independent and sort of, I don't know, driven, and obviously she finally gets Harry in the end, and that's obviously probably the envy of many girls around her.
I would say, and a wee bit aggressive.
Yeah, I think so. She has, I think from growing up in a big family full of sort of older brothers, she's become a bit of a sort of, there's a tomboy edge to her, I think. I think she's quite, I think her Quidditch playing is very sort of, she's quite competitive, I think, inside, and she sort of wants to fight and sort of, she's got a kind of real sort of winning streak.
And then, of course, you know, you are the envy of everybody right now because you get to kiss Daniel and Harry on, you know. Yeah. But again, we were talking about the family, you know, but this guy's like your brother. I mean, here you are on the set and you gotta do the kiss. You know, was it giggly? What was it like for the two of you?
Yeah, it was strange. I think from knowing each other for so long, like you say, it's almost like a brother sort of relationship. It's kind of hard to describe. But I think from reading, you know, in the first moment when I read the book and sort of found out that's what happened, and then reading the script and seeing how sort of Steve Kloves had written it, it was really exciting to sort of, you know, have a very different side to Harry Potter. I think we've seen so many sort of massive sort of scenes with hundreds of people in the Great Hall, and then suddenly to have just the two of us in a scene is such a kind of big contrast, and it's quite, you know, suddenly having to sort of look at someone you've known for so long, like this close, in a completely different way. It's quite difficult, and it's quite weird watching it, I think, on screen.
Yeah, but it was beautiful. It was a nice scene, very, very nice scene. Okay, so I understand you have some tricks that you've learned over the years about shooting scenes for Harry Potter, especially the big, long banquet scenes. What's your secret for getting through those?
Yeah, they're very long, the days. Actually, we do we've got to sort of get all the sort of the scale, and we want to get the whole feeling of being inside the Great Hall, which always sort of comes across very well, I think. But yeah, I think there's so much eating that goes on in those scenes. I think there's a kind of a, there's just food after food, and it becomes quite overwhelming when you're maybe in there for 3 days. And if you kind of in the Great Hall, you probably notice on the outside there's loads of, on the edges there's fireplaces. So it gets incredibly hot, and we're in cloaks, and those cloaks and uniforms are pretty hot. So yeah, just to stay cool and probably not ever really kind of eat too much of the food, because if you do it in one take, you have to do them in 20. So.
Yeah, you just try to, don't want to eat that.
Yeah, just drink, that's what I do.
Lots of water.
I'm really thirsty, I'm just going to keep drinking in this scene. Yeah.
I have to say, I have to commend all of you, because like I say, you've grown up in this, it's been the Harry Potter phenomenon, and I want to know how on earth you all stay so normal and level-headed. You're just such all lovely people to talk to and meet.
Okay. I think we all started so young, and we didn't really know a lot about the film industry, or sort of this idea that so many people have become obsessed with now. I think in the media, this is the idea of sort of fame and sort of being sort of at the forefront of everything. But all of us sort of started at quite, a small sort of state, and we've sort of grown within this film. We're such a tightly kind of knit sort of group, and there's such an amazing network of people around us that support us, like the producers and all the crew and sort of all the publicity that sort of deal with this movie. So I think it's probably kind of hats off to them, really, who've really sort of helped us through this journey. And we've all been together in it. We've all had, it's never been a lonely experience for all of us. There's always kind of, us to keep us going through the days and sort of chat to one another and make it a light-hearted sort of fun experience.
In it together. Till the very end. I can't wait to see the last 2 films. It must be very exciting. You're already into that, right? You're starting to shoot.
We are.
Very exciting. Well, we'll see you next year on that one.
We will.
Congratulations.
Thank
Great
you.
job in this. Nice.